Episode 3 of Tokyo Revengers is by far the pinnacle of this series so far. Now, granted, we only have 3 episodes to work with here, but yeah, these are my thoughts on episode 3 of Tokyo Revengers. So let's get into it. Yeah, there's something about this week in anime I'm absolutely thrilled with, and Tokyo Revengers is definitely one of the shows this week that has really got me excited for this entire season altogether. But yeah, this episode was fantastic. So we essentially opened up with Takemichi getting his butt kicked, basically. And at some point during the struggle, he's like, "I'm not going to give up. I'm not going to be weak again. I'm moving on. I'm moving forward. I have a goal." And as he's just letting this guy beat the fire out of him and not letting up, he apparently catches the interest of Mikey, which is one of these leaders that he's trying to get a hold of to prevent from meeting the other leader. And this person comes in, swiftly discards the other guy, and says that he's taken a liking to Takemichi and that he's going to be his friend now. And cut forward back into school. He's going to school, and at some point, Mikey just walks up and opens the classroom door, like, "Hey, how's it going? There's my friend. Come on, let's go hang out." Right in the middle of school, because why not? He's a thug, and just authority is nothing to him, basically. So yeah, this is where it really got tense for me. I was really afraid what was going to happen here, because as he brings Takemichi out and they're about to leave, Hinata shows up, and she believes that, well, obviously, that Takemichi is being bullied by this Mikey guy, and she just straight slaps the guy. And I'm like, "Oh no, where is this going?" And as Mikey's right hand man basically is holding on to her and gonna harm her, Takemichi again has to kind of get that courage up again and say, "Let her go." And he's like, "What are you talking to me like that? No, let her go." And through this entire exchange, they kind of gain a little bit more like for Takemichi. Not that he's strong, because they acknowledge that he's weak. He's a weak person. He has nothing. He can do nothing to these two. But it's through his desire to protect something that he loves that they took notice of him. And that's something that they end up getting into later on when they go off on their own. Takemichi, Mikey, and this Draken guy. I think that's their nicknames is Mikey and Draken. Mikey basically tells him, "Look, I want you to be part of my group," because he's like, "You're weak, but you remind me of my brother. My brother was always taking on people that he couldn't handle. He was weak, and he was taking on tougher people, and he always lost, and he ended up losing his life." And he sees his brother in Takemichi right now. And that's the big shift that's happening now, is now that, he's standing up and he's being strong, he's now caught the attention of the person he's supposed to meet and keep from meeting the other leader, which will prevent this whole entire catastrophe from happening. And that's where it's really been a solid episode. I think the writing, the music, the setting, everything was perfect. My stomach dropped the moment that Hinata showed up, and it's like, "No, girl, please. It's going to be okay. Don't get involved." And the way they kind of turned it around to kind of really point out the fact, and Takemichi's pointing that out as well. He's like, this isn't the bad guy that it seems like. This Mikey guy seems like a good person. He's trying to bring back the biker gangs of old. He's trying to revitalize the delinquent. He's trying to recreate these gangs that he feels are lost and everybody just discounts. But he's a good person inside, because one, he basically saved Takemichi. Two, he chose not to raise a hand to Hinata, and he's now, basically bearing it all to Takemichi. So he's a good person inside there, and he's like, "I believe this person would not have done something to harm Hinata in the future." So what changed? And he's already kind of creating a connection there, which is this other guy that's going to be a part of this gang, which Takemichi passes by at the very end of the episode. So obviously this other guy is the thing that is going to turn the Manjigen into this conflict that will be later. And so that's what he has to prevent. So it's going down a very interesting route at this point. It's like, where are we going from this point? I was really surprised because I thought at the end of this episode we would have him going back to the future again to see if something is, just to see what's different. Because I'm assuming that's going to be a regular thing, is every now and then getting a real quick glimpse of what's happening in the future, come back, continue the story, go back to the future, see what's changed a little bit, come back. Which, like I said before, that's about the only area that I'm very uncertain about. But after this episode, I don't care. I'm fully trusting the writer, even if I don't want to acknowledge what's happening in the future and just focus on this story they're telling in the past of him redoing something. I'm already sold, because the way this episode played out, I was, like I said, there was a lot of emotion in this episode, and that was really, it had me captivated. I'm very surprised of how much I was captivated by it, and at this point, episode 3 sold me. I'm sold on the show. I cannot wait for more of it. It has me hooked, and yeah, gonna keep gushing. Gonna keep gushing. Fantastic episode. I also liked they had Akun was gonna step up. They're really kind of pointing out the fact, and they pointed out in the previous episode that Akun really does love his friends, and he was this close to just going out there with a knife, and having Takemichi stand up was what prevented him from moving forward and really making a huge future devastating effect. So yeah, fantastic. I'm mixed on Mikey. What they've shown of him doing, I don't know. But again, I guess it's all relying on the idea of, can Takemichi keep him on the right track? And I think that's where it's gonna end up going. I think it's really gonna turn into a thing of Takemichi really just being, I think, Mikey's second leader. I think he's gonna end up having to be the leader, and that's the only way he's gonna be able to prevent what happens in the future, is him taking over the Manji gang. And I think that's where it's pushing it towards, but we'll see. So that's my thoughts on episode 3 of Tokyo Revengers. Definitely loving this series right now, and I hope you guys enjoyed my impressions. As always, let me know what you think in the comments below. Hit that like button if you like this video. Subscribe if you haven't already. And I thank you all for watching, and y'all take care.